What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Grand Variety channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing a discussion on the series finale of Dexter. So if you haven't seen the series before, I suggest you leave the video now because there will be spoilers. Otherwise, let's get this started. Dexter is a TV series by Showtime based upon the novel Darkly Dreaming Dexter, with a total of 8 seasons, each containing an hour long. There's basically only one way to summarize the whole story of Dexter entirely, and that is a serial killer who kills serial killers. Now, what makes this show great is its characters. We have 3 main characters who play vital importance to the plot. First, we have Michael C. Hall, who plays as Dexter the serial killer. We have Jennifer Carpenter, who plays Deborah Morgan, Dexter's sister. And we have James Remmer, who plays as Harry Morgan, Dexter's adopted father. And while these 3 main characters play vital importance to the plot, we also have side characters who play their roles extremely well. I mean, who could forget about Masuka? Now, what I really love about the show, that the show really does well, is that it shows Dexter as a serial killer, and as we know it, a serial killer lacks empathy, really. They don't really care who they kill, and their kills are basically for pleasure because it makes them feel good, it makes them feel alive, and all that. Now, Dexter has a sort of code, and that he was taught by his stepfather, Harry. And that code is to never take an innocent life. Kill people who do wrong, and that's basically what Dexter is doing throughout the series. But throughout the series, he becomes more human throughout the series, and his fake life starts to revolve around his hidden life. And as we know it, his hidden life is living as a serial killer, and his fake life is trying to live as a normal person through human society. But what this does is that this comes with consequences and eventually hurts those around him, because he's starting to show emotions, he's finding love, he has a family, he's becoming more human throughout the series, and we see that through season 1 all the way up to season 8, which really shows that is he really a bad person? And that's the philosophy behind Dexter. Like, is what he is doing wrong, or is he actually bringing justice through the acts he commits? And that's really the thing that gets you invested in this TV show. This show shows the perspective of Dexter, the serial killer, and you're trying to figure out, should I be supporting this guy, or who should I be supporting? I know I should be supporting law enforcement because he's a serial killer. How can I support a serial killer? But throughout the series, you slowly figure out that you're actually supporting a serial killer instead of law enforcement, because the thing is, you don't want Dexter to get caught. I mean, the show really has some great moments. Some parts I'm like, no. Other parts I'm like, and even some parts I'm like. Now, I will admit that some of the parts of the series are predictable, but others are not. Like, for example, you have one season containing at least 2 to 3 different things happening, or maybe even more. Because throughout each season, you're going to be wondering, like, what's going to happen to Deborah? What's going to happen to Dexter? What's going to happen to the other characters that are involved in the show? Because, as I said before, like, Dexter's fake life is becoming revolved around his hidden life, and this leads to consequences to those in his personal life. Now, as far as my thoughts on the ending of Dexter, when I saw the ending, I didn't feel angered, I didn't feel shocked, I didn't feel surprised. I was more confused, like, how could a show this good disappoint me at the ending? Like, I felt more disappointed at the ending, because I was so invested in this show that, the ending just kind of felt bland. Like, it didn't really serve the show justice. I mean, season 8 really didn't seem all that strong compared to the other seasons, because we had some unnecessary stuff within season 8. For example, like Masuka's daughter. I mean, cool, you got a daughter, but I mean, what's so necessary about that? And we also had Quinn's promotion, or at least he tried to get promoted, but even that didn't happen. So, I mean, Like, what was necessary about that? And that's what I just felt about that was this season that was lacking compared to the other seasons, because we probably could have focused more time on Deborah and Dexter, or even Miami Metro, because what I expected out of the series was at the finale for Dexter to get caught, and we could have probably had more time of Miami Metro eventually finding out Dexter's secret and eventually going after him, and that would have been very interesting and probably would have showed more emotion through Dexter and whatnot, and the people who are surrounded in his life. I thought that would have been really cool, but instead we got like this. I mean, the ending wasn't bad per se, but I just have so many questions. What happens to Aster and Cody? What exactly is Dexter doing as a lumberjack? Will Dexter ever kill again? How will Harrison turn up? Will Dexter eventually meet Harrison again? How the hell did Dexter survive the hurricane? Ugh, my brain. Now, despite the minor unnecessary things that happen in the show, or even that ending, should you watch this show? Yes, I really think you should watch this show. This show is amazing. I mean, this show does have a few bad parts with its CGI, although, like I said, despite all the minor faults of the show, this show is amazing. This show will show you what exactly serial killers are capable of and what they will go through to protect their identity. I mean, all shows have their flaws, so you really can't say that Dexter was a bad show. In fact, it was far from it. Despite all the stuff that happened, and even with that ending, I would have to give this series a 10 out of 10, just for the fact that it just really was amazing. I was so invested into it. Like I said, my reactions were just like, whoa, I would have never expected to react to a serial killer killing other serial killers, While that sounds like a good plot and everything, it wouldn't have happened if we didn't have Michael Hall playing the role of Dexter, because he really brought a great role into Dexter's character. Now, from what I've heard on rumors and everything, because, after that ending, I had to look up some stuff about Dexter, like, is there going to be a sequel? Will we ever be able to get our questions answered, And I looked on a couple of things, and it looks like there was rumors that there is probably going to be a spin-off involved pretty soon. We don't know exactly when, though. Apparently, it's been rumored that either it's going to be a prequel or a sequel directly following up after the events of Dexter. Now, what would I like to see? Prequel or sequel? Personally, I don't care. I just want to see more Dexter. As far as a prequel goes, maybe the prequel can revolve around Harry Morgan on how exactly he met Dexter and how he goes about bringing him up and trying to fit him in to human life, but also, training him how to be a serial killer, and how he eventually met Dr. Vogel and how he deals with Dexter. That would be pretty cool to see. Now, as far as a sequel goes, I would love to see a continuation of where exactly Dexter left off. I would love the producers to do that, because as viewers, we need to have these questions answered. Like, how long of a time skip was it where Dexter got the beard and whatnot? Was it 6 months, 8 months, or, a few years even? And will Dexter eventually meet Harrison again? Will Harrison look older? And is Harrison a serial killer now? And maybe it'll be up to Dexter to eventually stop Harrison from what he is doing, because as we know it, Dexter was always cautious of his son Harrison, because he was always wondering, like, will Harrison eventually turn out like me? So that would be pretty cool. I would eventually love to see, either a prequel or sequel. Just give us something. Anyways, that about does it for my series review of Dexter. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked this video, please give it a like, and let me know in the comments down below on what you thought about the series and what you thought about the ending as well. Would you like to see a prequel? Would you like to see a sequel? Or do you just want more Dexter? Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys next time.